toxic masculinity.
Okay, so Biden administration physically restricts 12 GOP lawmakers from access. I was going to say accessing, from access to a border facility. Hold on, I'm trying to find. Boom, there we go. All right, so this is it. This is the story. This is actually kind of a big story. I don't know why it's not bigger. I hadn't really heard of it until I was sent the stories for today. And I thought, wow, that's kind of a big deal. The Biden administration on Tuesday denied several Republican lawmakers access to a drug enforcement administration border facility in El Paso, Texas. And what I don't understand about this is, like, these people designate funding for these places. They authorize these places to exist, right? And I think that the Congress has oversight over these facilities. So I don't understand how it could possibly be legal to bar them from entering a place that they have oversight over. That doesn't make any sense. Shouldn't they be able to say, we have authority over these places to look into them, and we have to be able to get in? Like, I don't understand how there's some kind of, how it's even, like, possible for these border security folks to say, no, you're not allowed in here. I mean, can't they just walk around them? That's what I would have done. I would have just said, well, I'm walking in, you can arrest me if you want. I would have gone in, been like, arrest me. I would have given my phone to somebody and said, shoot this. If they arrest me, video it. And because I don't think it's legal for them to stop them. I don't think so. A delegation of 12 GOP members of Congress were physically restricted from entering the El Paso Intelligence Center during a visit to the southern border, Fox News reported. Oops. Oh, well, this is the Fox News story. I could just read this one. Well, let me finish this. The GOP lawmakers accused the Biden administration of interfering with their constitutional duty to have oversight. Well, that's right. Have oversight over these facilities. They're paid for by taxpayer dollars. That's right. All I can say is, well, I'm not going to read that because I found the video of them speaking. So let's just go ahead and play this.
Why do you think that the Biden administration is refusing to cooperate with Congress on oversight and allowing congressional members to do their job? From the Donna facility to ORR.
This is Sarah Carter. She's great.
All I can say is, Sarah, I don't know what they have to hide. I can only imagine. But for some reason, we were not allowed in. I can only imagine what is it that they're wanting to hide and not show the very representatives of the American people that have oversight over this facility, that fund it and that authorize it. Why don't they want us to see it?
This isn't something that we surprised them with. We didn't ask them the day before or 2 days before. We've been trying to get in there for a couple of weeks, and it's coming from the top. It's coming from the White House. They don't want us in there. They don't want us seeing what it is. You can make conjecture about why it is they don't want us in there. In my opinion, and I won't prejudge it, but my opinion is they have data that they're gathering at this intelligence center, which is clearly indicating that our open borders are actually a more serious problem than the average American understands right now.
Because they don't want American eyes to see the operations and to see what they are doing. And then when we come here, they don't allow us to tour the Fusion Center, which is the intelligence operation for this region. And I would have liked to have had the opportunity to visit with the FBI, to visit with the agents there at the Fusion Center to learn more about what the drug cartels are doing and what strategy we are employing to stop them. But we were denied to have that opportunity.
Yeah, so I like what they're saying here. They're saying that they think that things are far worse than what the Biden administration is letting on, and therefore, because you had that issue where I think it was Ted Cruz was in a detention facility with a bunch of immigrants, and he was taking video of it, and you had this Biden surrogate come in there, and she was like physically trying to block him from she's like, have respect for these people that we're torturing, have respect for the people that we're not treating very well at all, have respect for them. And Ted Cruz is like, what are you talking about? You're the one that doesn't respect them. Look, I mean, like, deal with these people appropriately. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to, it's a simple formula. You don't encourage people to come up to the border. You have strict border enforcement. You stop people from climbing over. You build the damn fence. Okay, not a fence. You build the damn wall. You build the wall. You stop people from coming over. You make the severe consequences for anyone who does cross illegally. And, yeah, bombs your uncle, as they say. Done and done. You know, get it, like, just, at the end of the day, you could legally speaking, you could go around the United States right now, today, and round up every illegal immigrant and ship them back to wherever they're from. We could do that. Or we could just dump them across the border of Mexico and say, find your way back home. We don't care. And not just illegal immigrants, the children of illegal immigrants. People who came over when they were like little kids, these dreamers. We could take all them as well. I say we get a lot more tough on these people. We start sending a lot more of them back every single day. Joe Biden is just like pussified the American federal government in every aspect, in every corner of it, totally pussified. And we need to be. But the thing is, like, a lot of people are like, oh, well, that's not very nice. That's not very nice. I agree with that. That's the point. I'm not unsympathetic to these people. If I were a poor person down in Central America and I thought I could sneak over the border and like help my family out, I would totally do it, right? I don't blame these people individually. The problem is, if you are not tough with those people, more will come, right? You're encouraging more people to come across the border. So you have to be tough. It's just common sense, right? It's rational policies of a politician to say, no, you are not sympathetic. As a matter of policy, you cannot be officially sympathetic with these people. You can be personally, but the federal government cannot be sympathetic to these people because the federal government needs to protect Americans. That's why you're there, Biden. You're there to protect Americans. You're not there to protect the immigrants coming over the border. You're there to protect Americans. So you got to keep those immigrants out. And you know what you do by keeping them out? You protect them too. And why? Because I believe the statistic is that 80% of women who make the journey to try to illegally cross the border into America are the victims of sexual assault. And you know what happens when you stop them trying to come over? You stop all that sexual assault. You know what you also do? By stopping people crossing the border, you stop enriching the Mexican cartels, right? You stop empowering the Mexican cartels. You reduce their power, you reduce their money, you reduce their influence by stopping this, because this is a business down there, right? It's a business. And you have facilitated that business. You've grown that business. You created it into an empire. That's your fault, Joe Biden and your puppeteers. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. So angry. I'm so angry. Anyway, those Republicans, they need to be able to get into that facility. There is a war, I think, more or less, going on in America right now between Democrat politicians and conservatives. And we're not just talking about regular conservatives like you and me. We're also talking about conservative politicians. This is not appropriate. You cannot use the power of the federal government against other members of government. You're not allowed to do that, right? That's called political persecution. We can't have that in America. You have to allow politicians to do their jobs. Just because they're not of your party, that doesn't mean that they get this unfair treatment, right? You have to treat them with the same respect as every other politician, and you just, let them do their job. They have oversight. They're allowed to go into that facility. So hopefully that story develops and we see what happens out of that. Hopefully the Biden administration, there should be some consequence for that, right? I mean, hopefully some kind of lawsuit is filed, something happens, because, I mean, honestly, I think somebody needs to be impeached, somebody needs to be fired for this. This is the kind of thing that there should be consequences for, right? Not making a phone call to Ukraine in which nothing inappropriate was said, but this kind of thing, this is actually inappropriate and probably illegal. So I would love to see that worked out. Okay, well, that is it for the news for me. I was going to do the story about Dershowitz, but I didn't like it. I read it, I didn't like it, so we're not doing it. So instead, I'm going to move right along to your questions and your comments. So I'm curious what you guys have to say about the news today and everything that's going on in the world. Let's have a look. Abel Garcia writes, Chris, once you're reading the chats at the end, I have some stuff to say about the illegal crossings, and it's all firsthand experience from my family. Well, I want to hear it, man. I'm into the chat now, so I will just go ahead and write whatever it is that you want to write, and I'll go ahead and give it a look. Let's see here. Smiles G writes, you're famous. No reply. You're famous. No reply telling you by contacting MrReagan.com, but the CBK Telegram channel posted your Porge Poros poster. BLM is in the center. I'll have to have a look at that. You know what's annoying about that poster that I made?
Toxic Masculinity. Weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.